time I talked about some traumatic experiences, some self-induced, some that were caused by outside sources. Today I'm gonna talk about something kind of random, kind of traumatic, something I regret, but it was my first time having sexual relations, I guess you could call it. My bad, I'm fire. Anyways, so my first time I was about 15 years old. To give you a little bit of a timeline, I'm 31 right now. All right, so I'm 31, right? Yeah. I was 15. The girl was about, I think she was 14, and it wasn't planned, right? So my mom was out of town with some family members. One of them left a cool little Mustang. If they hear this, they'll know who they are, and I'm sorry about it. I really feel bad and I regret it, but it happened. Uh, and thank God everybody was quote unquote safe throughout the whole situation. Um, so she left the Mustang, and I was talking to this girl that I had met through a friend of the family, and she told me she wanted me to go see her. Like we were gonna go meet her at her house. She said over the phone. Um, but I was 15. My mom wasn't around. She was out of town. My dad was at work. I didn't have no way to get there. I didn't have the keys to no car. I don't even know if I could have, if I, it was very early in 15, so I wasn't even really driving yet. I wasn't comfortable uh, driving yet. But my homeboy, one of my best buds during middle school and early high school, was with me. And he said he could drive, that he's driven before, he knew how to drive. So I was like, fuck it, let's take this Mustang and go see this girl. So I stay I stay in a, you can call it a suburb, but there's some real bad parts now, and it's getting kind of dangerous. I mean, to be honest with you, where I live is pretty peaceful. I do hear gunshots every once in a while. Uh, every once in a while on the news, you hear about somebody getting killed, down the street at some apartment complexes or some shit. Nowhere is perfect, this is America, like Childish Gambino said, but it is what it is. Uh, so I live in this suburb that's like, 10, 15 minutes away from this other suburb that she stayed at. So my homeboy drove, and then she texted us. She was like, "Hey, meet me at the at this park, at this school down the street." Uh, I didn't know why. You know, I thought her parents. I assumed that she had asked her parents that if that I could go over there. So anyway, her and her homegirl are walking to the park. We meet them at the park, and we're just chilling. We're chilling on the swings. I'm talking, flirting, spitting game, because I was a lame, a little so my dad, he used to ask me like how many girlfriends I had, and so did my grandpa. Like they used to push that kind of behavior, and that kind of got stuck in here. Plus, when I was about, I don't know, sometime in middle school, I discovered porn. So I was already molded and susceptible to trying to portray this image that in the end hurt me. Sorry, I'm shaking a lot. This desk is cheap. Uh, and I have allergies. I tried to record this episode last night. I ironed a white, clean Star Wars shirt. Right now, I'm wearing this black Star Wars shirt. Uh, and I put some posters up. Anyway, my allergies were just so bad last night I couldn't record shit. And they're still kind of bad. I'm stuffy right now. I don't know what the fuck allergies are, man. It's like pollen just it goes into my eyes or my nose or my throat, and it's just like little karate ninjas, little. I guess that's more like COVID because they're Asian, little tiny. Never mind. I'm sorry, it's too soon. Uh, allergies. What the fuck are allergies though, man? That pollen and shit. And then I'm allergic to dust too, so it's like that 1-2 hitter, man. If I was a Superman, that'd be my kryptonite. Anyway, I'm nowhere near a Superman. Anyway, so we were there just chilling at the park, right, talking, and then out of nowhere, her dad is in a fucking like SUV driving by, and she's like, "Oh shit, he's looking for me. We gotta run." I was like, "Run? You know what the fuck is going on? Why the fuck would we run?" And I don't know if she explained it or what happened, but we started running, right? And then we ran to the Mustang. And she's like, "You gotta take me to your house or something." Well, now that I think about it, now that I'm trying to like analyze what, I feel like it was all. Maybe she was just setting me up the whole time just to get into my pants, just to deflower me. I don't know. Uh, so we ran to my car, but we had to climb a fence. And she was wearing these pajama pants, and the end of one of her leg pajama pants got stuck on the chain link fence, and she fell like nasty. Like now that I think about it, I imagine it was hilarious, but in the situation, I was kind of worried because I mean, she could have broken her fucking hip bone or collarbone or leg bone or some shit. I don't know. But she was fine. She kept running. She got muddy. Got into my Mustang, and then we drove back to my house and chilled. So my dad's he was a bartender, so he would work late. So I had the house to myself for a while in the evening until like around early late night hours, like 2 or 3 in the morning. Um, so she stayed. She was like, "I gotta stay the night," and da 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 da, some bullshit. And me being stupid and young and dumb and full of cum, I agreed. And she was like, I'll sleep in the closet." She told me that she'll sleep in my closet so I don't get caught. So we don't get caught. She said she did that shit before. So I was like, all right, man. I mean, I don't know, but um, so she we chilled. My homeboy, or so apparently down the street from my street, she knew somebody who lived down the street. Right, she had like a friend, and somehow she knew. So her friend and her homegirl went over there to that house, which is like 5 minutes walking distance. My friend, who lives about 10 minutes walking distance, went home. You know what I'm saying? He parked the Mustang as best as he could the way it was. And then me and no girl, me being 15, her being about 14, I think. We were just chilling, and she just asked me. I didn't know how to make the first move. I didn't and I wasn't the whole situation. I didn't It felt like a weird dream, so I didn't even expect to be in that situation at all. And then she asked me, "Hey, so do you want to have sex?" I don't know how she asked me, right? And I was like, yeah." That was my first time doing it with a girl, but that wasn't my first time busting a load. And I apologize for the obscene language. Uh, and again, this is another thing that's kind of traumatic, taking it back to last week's episode. It's something I regret. When I was in middle school, I started watching porn. It was like we would get these deals from the cable, and then so for like a month, you would have free Showtime and free Cinemax, and uh, and so like there would be these softcore movies that would come on sometimes uh, late at night. And I discovered them by flipping through the channel. Because, in the daytime, they would have cool movies like PG-13 movies and shit on those channels. And and one of the times that I was watching one of those flicks, Man, compared to the shit that they got now, I feel
The
bad for the
generation
kids
prior to
now.
me, they had to look at magazines and they had to go to the movie theater in the 70s and 80s. The 90s, they had to buy like VHSs. The 2000s, we saw it on Cinemax. There was DVDs. They were like $50 and shit. And in the one on Cinemax, you didn't see no insertion or anything like that. It was weird. Excuse me. So one of those times, I don't know. I guess I was rubbing myself or some shit, and then some shit came out. And then I had like I had about like two best friends throughout middle school, and so we all discovered it. Me and one in particular, we all discovered it around the same time. And he had one of those big screen TVs that was. So one time we went over his house and he put it on, and we all went to like different parts, so like where we couldn't see each other and shit. I don't think I busted. I couldn't. It was weird. Uh, so she asked me. She said, "Hey, so you want to have sex?" I said, "Yeah." We do it. She helps me put it in, and I last a couple minutes. I don't know. And then we go to sleep, and then I'm like, we're about to go to sleep. And then as we're about to go to sleep, I tell her, "Hey, she about to go in the closet now, huh?" Just in case my dad shows up or some shit. And, she volunteered, man. I feel bad about that shit now, and I don't know if my dad would even. So she slept in the fucking closet, and I slept on the bed, happy than a motherfucker, like an asshole. I'm such an asshole. So um, the next day that she was there, because my dad went in kind of early to work, but me and her, we did it like 6 or 7 times that day, and I lasted longer and shit. Um, After that, me and her only hooked up like one or two, maybe three more times. I was a dick because I used to because of my outside influence, male role model influence, and plus my intake of misogynistic music and pornography. Uh, I would talk to other girls at the same time that I was dating this my first, and so I got caught up a couple times. So then you know how it is whenever you cheat and you stay together, usually she'll never trust you again, which is what happened. And then what happened was I ended up feeling like I fell in love. Sorry about the squeaky ass chair. I'm gonna try to stop. Whenever I felt like I was in love, I found out she was cheating on me for a while, and that broke my heart. And I had a real good homegirl when I was a freshman who picked me up because I got stood up. She picked me up and took me to her house so I could like be a little bitch and cry in front of her or something. But that girl, she kind of helped me get off of coke for a while at a time where I was like really addicted to it. There was a period of time where one of my birthdays I got a good cash. It was like the only time that they really gave me cash. One out of 2 or 3 times that my family gave me cash, and I understand why they did, and they probably knew. But so every day, every Friday, for weeks, I'd buy a 20 for me and one of my best friends, and we would stay in my. We would just chill, and sometimes we would watch Scarface, and every time he did some yayo, we would do some yayo. Sometimes we would go out places like Celebration Station, kick it with chicks. I use yayo in a like if I were to do it now, it'd be completely different. My anxiety would be off the charts, and I don't even want to imagine. But so then so that day, the next day after she spent the night in the closet, we were chilling together, and I remember distinctly we watched. 'Cause I had a few DVDs at the time. There's something about Mary, right? And we were watching that, and then the cops showed up. They were like, doom, 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 banging on the windows. And my dad woke up, and I was like, oh shit, no. So I was like, dumb, bro. She went back into the closet like a motherfucker. And he was like, man, I don't know what y'all talking about because I ain't seen nobody here. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I ain't seen her. And that's not the first time that cops went looking to somebody looking for a girl in my house, but the second time she wasn't there. She wasn't here. And anyway, uh, so they left. And that girl, I mean, she had trauma too, man. She was afraid of her father, but I think he may have sexually abused her. Possibly, she used to tell me that she was afraid of him. Her and her sister would sometimes have to lock the door because he would try to mess with them. And so thinking about that, I feel horrible because you know, but I was young too. I was young and dumb. I had been through my own traumatic experiences, and led us both to that point. So later on, we broke up because she cheated on me, and that was one of maybe two or three like serious girlfriends that I had in school during like because my last one was from high school to a little bit of college, and she's actually my most recent ex, my son's mom. That situation, I respect her a lot, and I respect her husband, and I'm blessed about the whole situation at the moment. But when me and her first had our son, we were young and we weren't ready, and I had a lot of influences by like her parents were really adamant about us getting married. My parents were very adamant about me not having to get married because they saw the situation as their own because they were similar. They were about the same age, and they got married because my mom's dad was like, my grandfather was like, well, I think he might have actually told my mom that she didn't have to, but she was already set on getting married because I don't know, she was pregnant with me. This bundle of joy, and so they told me, I don't have to get married, and and I wasn't ready. She wasn't ready, and so there were situations where her dad almost fought my dad in front of my dad's mom, type shit. Like the cops were called. We had one time we were at my house and they were trying to, you know, when I talk about this, this is in the past, and every single person that I talk about is I have a lot of love and respect for. Uh, my son's grandparents from his mom's side and all that. But the shit happened. I was so stupid, and a lot of this shit I know I was the cause of. So that's what I want to talk about. I'm not here to blame anybody except myself and own up to the shit that I caused and the consequences, the effects of my causes. Chris Chaos in the building. So I try to be more chill now. You know what I mean? And I feel like I have been these last 7 years, eight, 8 years, maybe nine. After the drinking and driving incident when I was driving when I talked about last time. I also wanted to mention that last time that I forgot to mention last time that when I was in that strip club, my cousin told me like the next day or whenever I saw him again, he was like, "There's some stripper." Or I kept getting dances. I kept hitting the table, right? And I would get a dance, and then I wouldn't pay because I didn't have any money. I had to borrow money to get into the motherfucking strip club from a friend of the family that I've known all his life. I left him outside. He had to take a taxi or so because I don't even know if he lived close to there, but I don't even know if like there was Uber back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know if there was Uber. And he thank God he got home safe, and I apologize to him too already. But when I was in the strip club, I kept like I got like two, three, couple. I kept getting dances, right? And then finally, like they're like, "Hey, you can't, you gotta have to leave." But also during the when I was there, a girl complimented my glasses. My cousin told me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I like yours too," but she didn't even have glasses, so I was out of it. Um, and then I ended up at another cousin's house that night, and I was like laying down in the driveway in the morning, and his mom was about to go to work, and apparently, the way she says it, she felt for some reason she needed to stop the car because, and if she didn't, she would have squished my fucking head, I think, because I was laying there in the driveway. And whenever I got up, I guess we woke up. Uh, my cousin's dad, who's also my cousin, said that I was like, "I'm the Cookie Monster," and so it's like an inside joke, but I'm so embarrassed about that shit. Um, and I don't know what the fuck came over me. You know what I'm saying? To call myself the cook, and I really believe because there's this theory, or I saw something on the internet, or not necessarily conspiracy, like more of an enlightening, awakening spiritual
Alcohol is called spirits
page
because
on it.
spirits can possess you if you get drunk enough.
And I thought, and when I read that, I thought, well, it's interesting because I'm still functioning, and I'm still talking, and I'm still driving, but I'm blacked out. So it's like I took a back seat. My consciousness, my soul took a back seat. And this random spirit or demon possibly took possession and was just having fun, man. He was getting lap dances. He was driving my car with no rims. He was he had a good time, and if that's what that is, I'm not surprised. On one side of my family, on my mom's side, alcoholism is very prominent, and I have a lot of family members that can drink morning to night, the way I can smoke. So I don't judge nobody. You know what I'm saying? But there's not a lot of people. Nobody's dying from cannabis use from Monday. You know what I'm saying? From sun up to it's just different, unfortunately. And maybe it wouldn't be different if there wasn't so many chemicals and all that sugar and shit that they add into the alcohol. Because like my grandpa can't drink beer, but he can drink pure like he can drink liquor, and it's actually like not as unhealthy. Yeah, it's not as unhealthy as beer. Um, my grandpa, speaking of, I mentioned Superman. I'm not anywhere close to Superman, but that dude is like a Superman. Uh, he worked in construction all his life. He since he was a kid. Well, when he was a kid, he was shining shoes and shit. He lived on the border of the United States and Mexico. He would have to run from the border patrol on this side back over here. Him and his brother used to charge people to cross. There's like a so that people didn't have to go like all the way around to cross into the states. Um, they would like he had like a plank. They had like this wood, and they would let people cross. But if they didn't pay them, they would flip the motherfuckers into the water. Um, because his dad would beat them if they didn't come home with money. My dad also grew up in Mexico, um, not in a border town. But as he got older, he did. It was easy for him to, for whatever reason, I think because Reagan despite all the bullshit Reaganomics that he did, one thing he did positive was he was more lenient with immigrancy or some shit like that. So my dad would go back and forth, and since his dad left, he's been working since he was like 7 to help for his mom, and he always said that he wanted to provide for his mom so she didn't have to work anymore. And he did that. He did that at 18. He came to the United States. I think it was at 18 that he got to get her to quit working. He was able to send enough money for him to survive here in the States, and then for her to live out there. Whether it was automatic or not, it happened. Now he's fluent in English, um, citizen, still takes care of his mom. Another superhero, man. I feel like because I was, I mean, there's a lot of hard people in the United States, right? And in some aspects, I'm more durable than other people in certain situations because of situations that I've been through, plus situations that I put myself through, i.e., uh, traumatic. And I want to do like y'all. I don't know if y'all remember DJ Drama is like on his mixtapes. He would say dramatic. I want to get like a little sound clip. It says traumatic. Uh, so anyway, I forgot what I was saying. So I have to respond, and I'm doing this in a rush. But I wanted to get it done, man. I wanted to get this done sooner than later. I had an itch, and I was gonna do it on Thursday. It didn't happen because my allergies, and then I was thinking like, well, maybe I should just do it on Fridays, every Friday. Call it the. I was thinking I was gonna call it the Friday podcast or some shit like that, but I think I'm just gonna stick with the Friday podcast with Chris X and talk about shit. So I try to get in contact with my first, but I was there one time. She did call me later on, and she said that she wanted to get back together, and I said, well, yeah, let's link up, let's see each other. And she was like, this, and she had already had it with another dude who was apparently abusive to her. So all around, man, I feel bad for this girl, and I pray that she's doing better now. But I know the friend of mine, because the person that I know that is the reason why I met my first. It's very hard to dance around words without saying names, but you can't, you know. I asked her recently, like, how's she doing? I think she thought I was asking because I was trying to hook up back up with her and she has a family and shit, but that's not my intention. But I know she's alive, and that's a blessing. But I hope she's doing better. I really do. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things I could talk about right now, um, but I think I'm gonna keep this one kind of short. 29 minutes ain't too bad, you know what I'm saying? Uh, and on that note, I just want to let y'all know, like the man Yoda said, man, do or do not. There is no fucking try. You know what I'm saying? Happy Friday. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Hopefully, I'll be back next week. Peace.